Welcome back to the Z Monster channel and another garden update video. Alright, we're going to try and zip through this. As you're well aware from the previous years, this is all of our viney and melons and cucumber area here. These plants here are cucumber. I was told that we actually have some baby cucumbers in there, and sure enough, there they are. There's our cucumbers. Pretty, pretty, pretty. I don't see any on the other plants right now, but I see these ones. And then these ones here are going to be different melons and squashes. And there they are. Aren't they beautiful? We do have some watermelons out here besides some of these spaghetti squashes and butternut squashes. There's another one here. Got two of them growing in there, looking beautiful. And then we got a few more plants here. These ones here, of course, are zucchini squash looking ones. And that one is about done of a zucchini squash, so I'm gonna have to pick that one. And then we got this plant over here. Don't see any squashes on it yet, but hopefully soon. And then we're going to go over here real quick. We got some more squash plants growing over here and here. Some of these are watermelons that just started. These are our seedless grapes. This one here reached up and finally made it to the first wire level there, so we could tie it up so it'll continue growing up. This one's reaching. It's trying. It is trying. I believe this one's green and this one's red. These are both the seedless. And then these are the seeded ones. This is the red and this is the green. And as you can see, we got grapes. We also got these weird beetles that are eating the leaves. I don't know if that's going to hurt the plant or not, but we do have grapes. Grapes. This one's got, for the size of the plant, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 good size, maybe 6 little clusters on there, so not too bad. And then for this one here, we got nice clusters here. A lot of clusters just buried in here, buried in their clusters. On the green seeded grape one here, and they're on both sides, and it is loving that it's up there, and it seems happy. Over here we got the fig tree that's inside the garden. And we'll poke on in here so you can see there's actual figs. That's these little figgies right here. And there's quite a few figs on the tree coming up here, so that's going to be nice. Then we've got our blueberry bushes. And yes, there are blueberries. Blueberries. And blueberries on this one too. We're going to pick some of them again probably. Another squash plant. You can see there's a zucchini growing in there. Alright, and then another melon plant here. Haven't seen anything popping up on it. Did get some flowering, but they were all male flowers, not the female ones yet. So, just waiting to see. Gonna trip over logs here. Alright, let's go back over here and see before I miss out on something. Alright, over here we've got different bean plants mixed in with the asparagus, and as you can see there are some asparaguses here. Maybe not today, but tomorrow they'll be ready. There's some other baby ones coming up there, but those, and then the peanuts, peanuts and beans are mixed in here as well. They're looking pretty happy. We have some other ones here underneath the canopy. We had to take the canopy off of the strawberries because they were flowering, but the bees couldn't get in there to pollinate them, so we don't got no berries. But the plants are humongous. They are looking very happy. So we're doing good there. And the peanuts and the beans, all happy. Doing good there. Now we'll head inside here. And this is the baby bok choy. We actually came out and harvested some of this yesterday. My wife made some kimchi out of it. We've also planted, you can see some is bok choy, some doesn't look like it because we put radishes in here. We were told if we plant some radishes in here to keep some of the other critters away that don't like the radishes. And it seems to work. We got some baby bok choys growing. My wife made some kimchi and she's eaten most of it up already, so she's happy with that. And then of course we've got potatoes growing in here. These are mixed potatoes, so you're gonna have some reds, some whites, and some yellows, or the golden ones and white ones, but they're not humongous ones, but they're potatoes. And then along the fence we've got walking peas, string beans. What are these? Pole green beans. That's what these are, all along the fence line here, and they are growing up the fence, so they seem to be happy for right now. My only concern is, you know, what could be slithering inside there, but my wife will find out and she won't be happy. So we will find out about that. And then we've got, this is our actual radish bed here. And we do get some pretty good sized radishes growing in here. We had them so big that they were actually like coming out of the ground. These are just those red radishes that you put like in salads and stuff, so they're really good. But that's those. And then we have potatoes here, or purple sweet potatoes. And we have them growing all along here. We just have the shoots growing. And even if we don't get potatoes, we use the shoots when they get long enough, and we pile them up out here because that's where the deer come. And the deer just happen to love this stuff. They munch on this more than the corn that we throw out there. It's crazy. But whatever draws them into the yard. Following along here, we have our carrot bed all the way down to the end down here. Carrots, carrots, carrots. We don't use a whole bunch of carrots, but when we do, we pull, you know, what we need at the time. Along here is more pole beans all along the fence line here, so you're not missing anything there. And then we get into my favorite area, which is the pepper plants. This is a habanero plant here, or at least the sign sticker on it said habanero. But if you look at this, that is not a habanero looking pepper. These do not look like little miniature pumpkins. This looks like ghost peppers, and I think somebody switched the sign thinking, ha ha ha, that's really funny, because that is a really, I mean, if you look at the size of that to my hand, that's really big. And if it turns out to be that, I'm gonna have to complain. Now the rest of this line and part of the next line is the jalapenos that we got. And these are, I'm going to actually pick one so you can see it, because you won't believe it either. I thought that this is crazy, but yeah, these are supposed to be jalapenos. These things are humongous. They're not, I mean, normal jalapenos that we grew last year were about half this size to a little bit bigger. These are huge, and we thought they were serranos possibly. I mean, the sign didn't say that they were, you know, like extra large jalapenos or something, just regular ones. But we've got all these plants of them, and if you look on here, I mean, this looks like a regular size jalapeno. Now compared to this monster one here, that's, yeah, I think they mixed up something somewhere. But these will get that big. We just actually picked the big ones off of this because my wife made the bok choy kimchi with them, so we had to pick a few. Now I have a couple more in my hand, so I'm gonna have to make some salsa or something. But you can see these things are getting, they're just humongously long. I know we did some different stuff with the soils too, so maybe that has something to do with it. We got some good stuff in the soil, so maybe they're just happier. And then starting on from here, from this plant down this way for a ways, we have the dragon cayennes. None yet on there, but it is budding some flowers, so I'm hoping to get some soon. Let me check in here because this one budded earlier. Yep, here is a dragon cayenne right there. So that is most likely the correct plant for the sign. And you can see the different leaves, different leaves, different leaves, and then you get into a few more extra jalapenos that we had. And then our next aisle is the tomatoes. And I've never seen tomato plants with a trunk quite as thick as this one here, but these are really, really thick. I mean, this is a traditional thickness of of one of the vines, and then these are just monstrous ones here. So we're not quite sure what the tomatoes are going to be, whether they're beefsteak or something like that. But we do have, there. Oh, if I can get in there, there is a tomato growing, hiding in there. It's hard to see, but it's in there. And then over here, these are the Romas. I call them the Romos, but this plant here has a bunch of those on it. And this one here is getting some tomatoes on there too. And these are all our tomatoes. Most of these were not original plants. These were actual ones that my wife started and transferred over here from the previous season. And then this plant here is our one and only Anaheim chili. It's got a few Anaheim chilies on there. You can see it's an Anaheim chili, and it seems to be happy. We have a few more tomatoes growing here that were started from plant. Orange tomatoes is what I'm being told. And in here, potatoes.
This tomato, but that's lima bean.
Ah, okay. So these are lima beans here.
Yeah.
And tomatoes. And
Lima.
we got rows of lima beans here.
Pink-eyed bean.
And more lima beans here. And these are pink-eyed beans, kind of like black-eyed peas, but they're, yeah, the skin is a different color.
Purple.
And so we're trying this new this year, and hopefully that'll be in something interesting. This is onions in here. This is our purple onion bed, and I don't know if it does justice how big these things are, but yeah, these are really thick stalks, so there's going to be a big purple onion hopefully in there if the critters didn't get to it. And then we get to our salad bar. Yes, this is what we like the best here. We try to have salad as often right now because we're trying to be, you know, a little bit thinner Z monsters than we are currently. So we have a mixture of different salads and things here, and we could just come in, you just clip off what you need for your meal. We've taken some and given some to our pastors at our church and to some family members, you know, because we don't want it to go bad. We don't want to lose any stuff either. But yeah, this is where we're at for right now. We do have outside, of course, more fig trees outside the fence here, and figs on them, figs on them, figs on them. And then let me get over here to the peach tree. And we do have peaches on them. I don't know if you can see peaches hanging here. There's some peaches hanging up in there. It's hard to see on the camera, but there's peaches in the middle. If you look in there, there is some peaches still on it. There are some that fall to the ground, and I think it's like natural, you know, selection, you know, or the strongest, the fittest survive kind of a thing. We've only had the tree a couple years, and we were told, you know, that normally it takes a few years before it gets established really good. We're going to have to trim it back this year, but it does have some peaches on it. And if the birds don't tear it all up, then we will have peaches. And that will be a good thing. And then the last things for the garden part out here is our date tree that has not produced dates in the 3 years we've been out here. It is flowering again, so this is it. This is its last chance to produce dates. If it does not produce dates, then it's in trouble. It is growing some little shoots coming off of it, and my wife is going to take some of those off and put them in starter buckets to see if those will actually work as another tree starter, to see if we can actually get dates. This was taken off of an actual tree, or this was taken from a tree that was transplanted here, and then one was in another spot, and the other one's growing dates from season 1. This one has not. So I don't know what we did wrong. It looks happy, it's just not producing any of those. Another view from shady side of the garden out here. Here is our deer killing field area right here. This is where we put our deer corn and stuff like that. And over here we have just a pear tree that's growing in the middle of the woods. And squirrels were stealing all of the pears off of the tree when they were smaller. So my wife came out here and put bags on the 7 remaining pears and just kind of twisty tied them around there so that they can't get to them. So they are still growing in there because we can get to the bag, and it's about that wide of a pear right now. It's not super big, but it's bigger than it would have been had the squirrels gotten to it. And the squirrels get to all these easy because they can just run along all these trees and jump down. But we also have this tree. They run right along this branch here and just jump onto the pear tree. They're just that crazy. All right, but trying to show you all the different angles of the garden because it looks beautiful from every angle. We were really truly blessed to have the property and be able to grow stuff, to learn to grow stuff. And we are totally happy with what we're producing here. This is our burn pile. So all the weeds and the stuff from the garden we just take and we throw it over here, and then we burn it every once in a while. We actually have perilla leaf plants growing in here from the plants that we threw in here that haven't burned yet. We got several perilla ones in here, and let's see what else we got. We got some wild stuff here, more of that. Here, here's 2 tomato plants growing right here, wild in there. It's just crazy like that. But that's what we get out here when we live in the wild. Okay, that's going to do it for this garden video update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We do have other areas that have some other things growing, spices and stuff like that, and some other container stuff like this, but most of that is, doesn't look as good because we have to weed whack around it still, but it's all just purple potatoes, regular potatoes, and stuff in totes. But maybe next time. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that fun stuff, and as always, we will talk to you later.